Okay. Where is it? Come on. Copy paste. There we go. Got the chat bands going on. The chat bans for this game, this round of 4 game that we're going to be going into, which is going to be Goon Squad versus Williaf Gaming. It's going to be the round of 4 game. The chat bans are Maokai, Kha'Zix, Pantheon, Wukong, and we're just waiting to see when they actually start the game. Just waiting on that click-clack. That click-clack of the button. Yes. And start. Start. Wizard. There we go. Alright, flying at maximum speed over the champion select screen here for DominateDominion number 100. On the left-hand side team, we have Goon Squad. It's Goon Squad, not the Goon. No, it's the Goon Squad. The Goon Squad, different from Goon Squad. And on the right-hand side team, we have Williaf Gaming. Make sure I spelled that correct. Yes, I did. Excellent. And the chat bans for this game, as mentioned a moment ago, they were Maokai, Kha'Zix, Pantheon, and Wukong. And the first ban in the client is going to be Vi, followed by Talon and Jarvan. Lulu being banned as well. Fun fact about Noob V3. Noob V3 only plays girl champions. He does not play non-girl champions. I found this out because someone's like, well, if they ban Sejuani as a tank, why don't you just play Alistar? And he says, well, Alistar's not a girl. And they're like, what, you only play girl champions? He's like, yeah, think about it. Go look at all my tournament appearances. Go look at my match history. And we did. And we were like, whoa. Yes, I don't care. It is just me by myself, just me, Gandair, here on the stream. We were not able to dig up a co-commentator tonight because Yorick did not rank skills in that ability where he digs up dead commentators. Practice Yellow, picking up Leona. Leona's a good character because lots of crowd control, high durability. Can't go wrong with that. Zenith Blade gets her back into the target that she needs to, and Solar Flare has a very good range, especially with the changes that were made to Eclipse at the start of Season 4. That really buffed her ability to use that. That increased armor and MR was really nice on it. Devil Joe, I have a YouTube video that you really need to see. Ask me after the tournament or on a commercial. Seeing who are they going to pick up for these 2 slots? It's exactly on the subject that you're talking about in the Twitch chat right now. You're going to see Zhao and Ziggs. Zhao is a dangerous and disruptive champion. He does suffer to being Kai just a little bit, but because of Audacious Charge, it can usually get in range. The difficulty with Xin Zhao is you have to generally walk up to your target in order to attack them, because if you use your Audacious Charge to initiate on someone that has a gap creator, then they're just going to be able to jump out with whatever that is, and usually they're able to get away afterwards. And Ziggs is a spammy little git that brings a lot of AP damage to the table and just never stops pressing buttons because he has so much mana. He zones really, really hard because the way his abilities linger after he uses them, and has a good presence on the map because of his ultimate. And we'll see if they decide to lock in these two champions as well. Also, it is Feedski's day off today for people who are wondering if it's Feedski or not. Me and him sound quite different from each other. And we are going to see that Zyra and LeBlanc. LeBlanc, solid AP assassin. Sometimes her range is a little bit short, but she usually does so much damage that it doesn't quite matter. Also, what separates a good LeBlanc from a great LeBlanc are the ones that really know how to use their Mimic Ethereal Change to set up kills for their team. Druid Boy 258, you are correct. I am a little mad at Ziggs. He's just such an annoying champion to play against. It just feels like you can never get close to a Ziggs. That's the problem I have with him, you know? But that's what makes him really good on this map, because his zone control is just great. He gets on a tower, he just, you know, starts throwing things all over the place. You just can't approach him. I mean, even if you have a lot of MR and can soak the damage, getting through the slope from the minefield is just not going to happen. You can't really jump over the minefield. It's just a little bit too fat for that. And even if you do, he has a little knockback satchel thing. Just, he's a really irritating champion to play against. He's a really good champion to play. Ziggs all around, great. If I feel like a jerk when I'm playing him and I hate playing against him, that means he's probably balanced. And Zyra, as I was mentioning, as I was talking about LeBlanc, Zyra, a lot of area control, a lot of AoE, a lot of crowd control. She brings a slow, she brings an airborne, she brings a snare to the table, and while she's dead, she still forces delay on towers because she's going to shoot you, so you just kind of have to wait until that goes off before you can actually really start channeling, or start channeling anyway and then eat that damage, which you don't want to do, typically. So we're seeing Nocturne and Taric. Taric was literally the most powerful champion in Dominion with the most recent Mastery rework that they did. But some nerfs later, he's good, but not completely insane. Zenfian is correct. What separates a good LeBlanc from a horrible LeBlanc is not being Gandair. Somebody bought me LeBlanc for Christmas, my teammate Argyle. And I was like, I'm going to play LeBlanc now, and I proceeded to lose 14 times in a row with LeBlanc. Meanwhile, a friend of mine, that's also in my gaming clan, won 10 times in a row with various different characters. So I was like, man, I need some help. So I went to a cool website called lolpro.com, and I looked up Generic and his guide for LeBlanc on that website. And oh man, I literally won my next game. I'm like, wow, that's how you do it. Generic's LeBlanc guide. It's great. You should read it. Alright, so what does Taric bring to the table? He's got a nice AoE buff, brings a stun and some armor reduction. He's real tanky, real sustainable, good character. Nocturne. Nocturne has an amazing gap closer. His crowd control is good, and his wave clear tends to be pretty good. He makes a good bottom lane champion. He's good up top lane too. There's not a bad place for Nocturne to be. I would argue that there are champions better than Nocturne, but Nocturne is just all around a real solid pick. He does suffer being kited a little bit more, even more so than Xin Zhao does. So it's one of the things that you have to worry about there. We're seeing Irelia and Lee Sin. I talked about Lee Sin a little bit in the game before that, and Rage is a great Lee Sin. He's really fun to watch. He's really good to play against, really annoying to, he's really good to play against, and he's really good to play with. So I mean, it's annoying if you have to fight him, and it's great if you have him on your team. It's a little bit of a relief. So we're probably going to see some nice stuff out of Rage. And Irelia is actually a champion that I'm not as familiar with. She does not get picked too often in competitive Dominion. So my knowledge of her is a little bit less than other characters. She always tends to be pretty durable. She can do a fair amount of damage too. She seems to always perform okay. But I've never seen her particularly excel. So we'll see if Noob V3 is going to break that trend for me and really show us what Irelia can do. And over on their side, we were seeing that their last pick was Jax. Jax is a character whose damage gets completely out of control late game if he's able to get there. He starts off being a little bit squishy, but as time goes on, he becomes an amazing duelist. His stun is really good, his sustain is nice, his chase is nice. Good things all around. They just have to be able to get through that early game okay. Also, if anyone has any questions about the game mode, about me, about things in general that are safe for work and can be talked about on a stream without being awkward, feel free to ask in the Twitch chat. We have 2 minutes going on here. Looking at these two teams, I would have to say that Ziggs and Zyra both bring good area control to their team. That Leona is a little bit better at tanking than Taric is, but I think Taric is brings a little bit more damage in the form of having that shred. Nocturne, you know, compared to seeing Lee Sin over on the other side, seeing Xin as well. I think that if they use Xin as a good initiate, and then they follow it up with Nocturne coming in afterwards, throw the Mega Inferno Bomb, whoever's retreating, I think it's going to be pretty nice. Why are you so bad at playing Kog'Maw? Well, the first thing you need to do is lead your ultimate better. And the second thing you need to do is play like you're afraid you'll get hit and die in one hit. Pretend it's one hit KO. Like, pretend it's one hit KO and focus on leading your shots. And that's a good way to start with Kog'Maw. The Squirrel asks, how is Babby formed? 1 plus 0 repeatedly. Gandair, when did you come back? I came back right now. This is the first full tournament that I've come back and streamed and commentated since I had to break to work at the Arizona Renaissance Festival. I came back with some new toys and things like that. If you want to see what that, what my hardware list is, you gotta go to my Twitch channel to check that out. But I came back with a webcam. Hello, everyone. And I came back with a nice microphone. I got a Blue Yeti mic now. I got a nice keyboard and mouse to go with it, and picked up another third monitor, which is the TV that you kind of saw behind me, all crazy and glaring. And I got these nice Sennheiser headphones too. So a lot of audio and peripheral upgrades to bring to you guys. I love this microphone, by the way. It's really good. The only downside is the USB, so you can't plug it into a sound card, but it comes with its own volume and gain control built into the mic itself as little dials, which I kind of like. Also, shout out to people that have never seen what I look like before. Because there's a bunch of live event interviews on my Vatsum Clan YouTube channel. So this team is going to be the Goon squad. Up against Williaf Gaming. Nobody's ever who you think they are. Practice yellow. Why spoil the fun? Okay, there we go. I got my stuff labeled. Okay, on the Goon Squad's team, we have Practice Yellow playing as Zyra, No Namer playing as LeBlanc, Rage playing as Not Connected, Noob V3 playing as Irelia, and Corval playing as Leona. On the other team, on Williaf Gaming's team, we have Man playing as Zinzao, Nether playing as Ziggs, MFG Next playing as Actually Connected to the Game, Denz Bruja playing as Taric, and Monstrous S4 playing as Jax. Also, that is definitely the best Nocturne skin in the game. It is absolutely the scariest Nocturne skin that you could get. Because I want you to think about this for a moment. You have Nocturne, and let's say you're out anywhere, and you see this guy walking around with a sheet, like a ghost costume, right? And you say to that guy, hey man, that's a really crappy costume. That's just a sheet with some holes in it. Then you reach up and you grab the sheet and you pull it off, and underneath the sheet is the literal physical embodiment of darkness. And you're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then you try to put the sheet back on, but then his Umbra blades go off and you get cut in half, and then he proceeds to go on a rampage through downtown, destroying things with Dustbringer. Like, that's scary, man. I don't want to mess with that. Raids is playing as Lee Sin. So we'll load into the game here in a moment. Whenever the loading screen decides that it would enjoy to do that. MFG Next is playing this Nocturne. There we go. I've introed everybody. Also, Ziggs, DominateDominion has like the creepiest smile. Is that not like freaky? Rage, please be connected. Let's see if we go immediately to a pause or not. Let's actually try on KDA as well. There we go. Hey, Rage is back. Okay, because it wouldn't be a DominateDominion tournament without some sort of technical error. Actually, it wouldn't be a tournament in general without some sort of technical error. Did you know that one time, LCS was held up for about 30 minutes because a player heard, quote, weird sounds, unquote, coming from his computer? After trying to figure out what was causing these weird sounds for a while, they realized that it was just the Vi login music. The player that was playing in the match had actually not heard the Vi login music before because he plays with the sound off on the launcher. So the first time he heard it was when he played at LCS that day. Weird things happen in esports, guys. Yeah, there's literally a hashtag Chober's fault, you know. I see you talking about that in the chat, Devil Joe. There's also a blame Chobra hashtag. Both teams heading on to that portion of the map. We'll see what happens when they meet each other for the first time. We'll see Zyra doing a little bit of that zoning, and Ziggs doing a little bit of that zoning as well. People tend to get up close real fast in this first fight. We're going to see that happening here. Man taking a lot of damage on Lee Sin there, sticking his head out way further into the enemy team. Is going to be the first one picked off on his way back up with the revive, but they really don't have any pressure to apply to keep them from capturing. So they're actually going to turn around and clean up this fight first. Ziggs with the angry snowman. Alright, there we go. Lee Sin manages to connect with Zyra. Zenith Blade, though, is going to interrupt that stun as well, keeping him back away from his target of choice. Nope, not going to get that Ethereal Chains proc. Oh dear. There's Nether. I have no idea how to pronounce that double J, so pardon me. Ooh, that snowball has a face on it, it looked like. Looks like it's a snowman head that he's throwing, actually. Oh yeah, it is, okay. I don't see a lot of Snow Day Ziggs. After all, this is sort of a desert mountain map. Big team fight, middle of the map, engaging in the middle of the bushes. Lots of damage exchange. LeBlanc trying to retreat from the fight, not able to do so, unfortunately. Lee Sin, though, is going to stop Xin Zhao before he's able to take down Zyra, and Zyra with mana is dangerous regardless of how much health that she has. She can still keep throwing down these plants. So her being on the wrong side of this fight, she can still contribute a little bit. Don't stand in the... Oh, man, that was really, really close. Nocturne diving through to try to get to her. The fear is going to take her out. But Zyra did buy enough time on that low health for her ally, no-namers LeBlanc, in order to catch back up to the fight. Taric has been taken down. Rage coming in from the back. Going to finish off Ziggs as well. Yeah, if Zyra is not killed completely dead, she can get back outside the fight and do exactly what we saw there. Still being able to contribute damage into it, still being able to zone and delay for a little bit longer. And Noob V3 down the bottom lane. Xin Zhao heading in this direction, reveals himself. Is Noob V3 going to leave? Yes, absolutely. He does have a dash target too in order to escape with if he needs it. Uh-oh, nope, Jax can't get in there because he doesn't have a leap strike target. Everything's fine. We're fine. How are you? Practice Yellow, putting some hurt on Man. Just passing out gold. Oh man, Corval, that was a really daring way to interrupt that Nocturne there. Eclipse is soaking a massive portion of that damage. Next dives through with the Paranoia, but is picked off before he can actually really do anything with it. So now that's going to be on cooldown for a little while. Paranoia is a little bit of a longer cooldown than some other abilities are. Down here on the bottom part of the map, Zenith Blade into Monster SS4. Monster SS4 is quite a good bot laner, but so is Noob V3. So we'll have to see how things work up as the game goes on, but looks like with the gank right now, Noob V3 is going to be successful against his lane opponent. It's the second time now that he's been able to do a good job down there. Den's Bruja coming down, stopping Noob V3, bailing out the tower. MFG next coming in as well, but does not have that Paranoia. So all Irelia has to do is run, and Nocturne just can't do anything because he doesn't have the way to gap close. So Irelia just retreating there. She has to leave. Top part of the map, Ziggs. One versus the world. Not going to get that kill on LeBlanc like he wanted to, unfortunately. Bottom part of the map. Noob V3 having to do a 1v2 defense down here on the bottom. Not going to be able to do so because the minions being able to neutral that point denies that defender's advantage pretty hard. However, with his allies appearing, that crowd control locking down Den's Bruja is going to force Next to try to retreat. And Nocturne versus Irelia is not really a matchup that you want to get into because Irelia tends to beat up on Nocturne pretty handily. Nocturne, while he does do a lot of damage, is pretty fragile. Monster SS4 taking a little bit of damage. Eaten by that Storm Shield, though, he will be okay. We have Den's Bruja coming back with the revive. Going to be able to get back down there. Going to keep people away. Jack's able to engage against No Namer. No Namer with the snare. Looks like snare distortion combo. Yes, it's going to be all the gap creating that LeBlanc needs in order to be able to survive there. A couple of alert pings down there trying to bring their allies to attention of what's happening. Top part of the map, we are seeing Nocturne knows Zyra is there. Nocturne does not have Paranoia. He can't really get close to her. Bottom part of the map, Monster SS4 exhausted. Second exhaust, two exhausts, back-to-back exhausts on Monster SS4. Had he not had double exhausts, he might have been able to get out of that. Corval doing an awesome job. 407 on Leona so far. Den's Bruja doing the best he can to hold on to this tower for his team. And no, I'm leaks. They're really not. They don't have a 4 or 5 cap advantage going for them before the 10-minute mark. They've gotten a 3.5 cap at best. Stun in on No Namer, but distortion. It's really risky to blow that counterattack stun on her that way because she can just leave the fight so easily. So you really want to have something else to follow it up with. Dens? Oh, that was horrifying. Theofino. I'm pretty sure his name is Burr. I'm pretty sure MFG is his clan tag. Noob V3 is Noob V4 right now with Taric down there in that area of the map. There goes the airborne Man going to be taken down. And with his team backing him up, making it a little bit more of a fair fight than when the initial part of it began. Next up and down to the bottom part of the map. Says, hey, I'm going to hang out down here. Gotta take control of that. Alright. Now it looks like we're trying to validate Leaks' claim by picking up that 4 cap before the 10-minute mark. So it looks like he may be correct after all. I have to retreat back into the base right now. They can't quite get out of it at the moment. They'll regroup and push out all as one group, which is a good thing to do. You don't want to feed in 1v3, 1v3, 1v3 and just keep dying. You want to regroup, wait that few seconds, and just straight up take the whole tower back as so. So they're going to be able to pick up this point rather than getting stuck in some sort of insane contain. Monster SS4 is defeated. Grandmaster's Might being used late in the fight. Didn't get the most mileage out of it that he possibly could have, but I didn't get to see when it came off of cooldown, unfortunately. We have Man hanging out down here. He's going to head back to base. Paranoia going down near the top part of the map. He's going to dive through for Corval's Leona. And is this going to be Leona's first death of the game? Is Next going to... No! Are you serious? Corval with the stuns. Taking care of things. The light has defeated the darkness. V3 going to retreat and get this tower turned around here. And they are at a substantial deficit. Game of Dominion is not over at this point. There's still plenty of opportunities and room for them to be able to turn this game around. But it's pretty difficult in the situation that they're at. Being down by about almost 300 points is a really rough situation to be in. And Ziggs was purged clean from the face of the earth. Corval marching through towards the enemy team. Invincible Leona with that Iron Solari shield hanging out. Monster SS4 is able to take down Nuke V3's Irelia. He's going to try to run away. He's going to try to run away. Zenith Blade to the back. No. Was going to face check for the stun, but didn't get it. So lots of active pressure coming out from the Goon Squad's team, which is keeping Williaf Gaming from being able to really move out effectively onto the map. As long as they keep this roaming pressure back and forth, they'll be able to see and respond to wherever they try to break through at. This, when someone says hold 3, this is exactly how you do it. You don't stand on points and vision and give up map control. You stand in the middle of the jungle on their side and you keep that map control. This is how to hold 3 and win, doing what the Goon Squad is doing here in this game. They're picking fights over in this area of the map. That way they can see where the enemy exits from and have full intel on where they're going, rather than standing back on points, giving up any vision control, and telling the enemy exactly where they are to let them plan accordingly. Just excellent, excellent execution so far from the Goon Squad. Oh dear. Ro4 has it clips up. Staying on Man. Man doing a pretty good job trying to keep things rolling over here. Keeping that point from being captured. Irelia going to recall. Ooh, Den's Bruja hanging around the grass. Den's Bruja, by the way, it's always nice to see him in competition. He's going to take at least somewhere in the top 4 places because this is the round of 4. MFG Next obliterated, unfortunately. Den's Bruja able to throw down a little bit, being Taric. Although 1v4, I don't know if he's able to get out of it. Okay, he's did a good job of staying out of Practice Yellow's Zyra AoE there. Still staying up. Able to put that stun down. Practice Yellow down, but not out. Taric on low hit points. As long as he still has mana, he can still contribute to the fights. And that's what we saw there with Den's play. He was picked off, unfortunately, by the Zyra passive. But had a good run. Oh, no! Next there, MFG Next not quite able to take down Rage. Rage still did die, but Next didn't get to live through it, which is what they're really looking for. Another able to shut down Corval. The Yordle is the giant killer. I'll let you write your own really bad David and Goliath joke and then make fun of you for it. But that's something you're legally allowed to do on the internet because of free speech. Man, though, is going to get a free trip back to the Summoner platform. All expenses paid from No Namer and Rage. Mega Inferno Bomb. Tanked by Nuke V3. Still gets the neutral. Den's Bruja is going to come back down here. And Irelia can't really get into that fight. Does not quite have enough health to be able to take care of Den's. So he's going to turn that point around. Middle of the map, however, the refinery is going to not be captured by Nex, and the drill is going to be turned over. So 4-1 cap, I don't think they have enough time to get a point. No. They would have to be winning fights right now, and they're not. Because they have Corval, Leona hanging out on this point. And he's actually going to let it go? He's going to let it go? Interesting. But they didn't sweep through towards the windmill. We'll see if they can do it. But they spent so many people on recapturing the drill, they didn't have anyone up near the top to even threaten to contest it. However, with Leona having gone back, and LeBlanc heading down to the bottom part of the map, they may be able to have something here. But the question is, can they actually kill them fast enough for it to matter? They need to do it before that tower gets to 9. And they're not able to do so. Corval is able to arrive. We were not able to get the channel going on by 9. So didn't have enough time to get it neutral. And that means that the Goon squad is going to win the game. And they are going to advance on to the finals. And with AF Gaming, let's need to go down into the 3rd and 4th place match. Take a look at the post-game screen here. Get to have a look at the items and other such. And we are going to throw to a commercial real quick. And we'll be back as soon as we can get the game set up to go into the finals, ladies and gentlemen, of tonight's tournament. So we'll be back in just a moment.